The following is a presentation of the Pro Wrestling Report, TV and radio. Informative, entertaining, and real since 1998. Live from the 540 ESPN studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is the Pro Wrestling Report with David Hero, Frank Cosentino, Linda Kay, and your host, Damian Nelson.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, ESPNMilwaukee.com, and on Blog Talk Radio. It's a Memorial Day edition of the Pro Wrestling Report. I want to welcome you here with us virtually to the Time Warner Cable Studios of 540 ESPN in downtown Milwaukee. I'm Damian Nelson, sitting alongside the Cos, Linda Kay.
What up?
And that other guy. But you already knew that.
That's the best I'm going to get tonight, huh?
Absolutely. I think we got heat this week.
Why? What did I do wrong?
You had some obligations for the show this weekend, and you decided to ship off up north.
Oh, yeah.
Got out of Dodge
Come on.
and left Frank holding the bag.
And Frank did a tremendous job holding the bag.
And all the fans had, and some of those duties was making sure the audio feed was okay for WWE Raw tonight. And now millions of people had to suffer through 10 minutes of technical difficulties because of you, David Hero.
No, that was
you
just the
ruin
truth
everything?
Promo. That was just the truth promo.
A lot to discuss tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I want to remind you, we are socially communicating with you as well. We're on Twitter. Our Twitter username is @PWR Show. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report. A couple of questions out there tonight that we're going to be sharing your answers with later. And with the lovely Linda Kay, the social media diva. I saw a video last week, by the way, that, that was nice. Who's doing that? Frank, you've been busy with the interns. There's all kinds of stuff popping up on shows and whatnot that I don't know nothing about.
We're making it happen.
I loved that video feed, I must say.
Welcome back from Pensacola, Linda.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back
girl.
here in the mill town.
You know what month you are yet?
No, I do not.
Because that month
She's
we got to
every
make
month.
sure we're very, very clear about our schedule, because I think the month before and the month after might be stuck together.
Maybe your
Heyo.
calendar. My calendar's going to be just fine.
Well, it's on the ceiling. We're also taking your phone calls tonight. The number is 414-276-ESPN. That's 414-276-3776. Or all over the world at 1-800-990 ESPN, 1-800-993-3776. As WWE Raw goes off the air, R-Truth poured a beverage all over a fan on a Cena shirt at ringside, and I think that's tremendous. The main event tonight on WWE Raw was R-Truth versus John Cena, and R-Truth taking exception to a couple of fans in the audience that clearly got free John Cena shirts, and little Jimmy
That's
of the
someone's
night.
family. There's no way a fan's just going to sit there and take it.
Well, they got a free shirt for their efforts. So we're going to be taking your comments on tonight's WWE Raw and all the rest going on in the wrestling
Hold on
world,
a
of which
second.
there is a lot. Yes, David.
If you're there with your son, your nephew, your niece, whatever, and someone throws a drink in your face, are you just going to stand there?
No.
Okay. So you can tell that's someone's family. That wasn't just some fan. Come on now. I know you're smarter than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
Wow. All right, well, tonight we're going to talk about TNA's decision to refocus their efforts on the recently ignored X Division. Also, comments on tonight's WWE Raw, Toughen Up Elimination. Frank, I understand you said you had big news earlier, and I don't know what that is. You wouldn't share with me. So why don't you share with the world listening right now?
As everyone saw tonight, Karma out for at least 9 months.
Well, let me make one thing clear as it pertains to Karma.
Yeah.
I called Maury Povich just to be sure.
It's not you, right?
Just to be sure. I mean, there was that one night in Karma. I am not the father.
Well, you did disappear for a while in Atlanta.
I am also not the baby's daddy. Just saying.
That is confirmed.
Just saying.
What is confirmed is she's out for at least 9 months. What does that mean? Well, that's a roster spot, Mr. Hero.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. No. There shall be no shenanigans. No.
There is.
No, I'm pulling
I got
rank.
time. I don't
No. No, you don't get a pick.
Here's the situation. She goes on IR.
I don't even want to talk about it.
You know what?
Nope.
I would call it maternity leave. I wouldn't call it IR.
We're also going to talk about Michael Cole's return to the
IR
commentary
pregnant.
position in WWE and whether or not that can be accepted by the WWE universe and all the fans out there. And yes, Maury Povich did confirm that I am not the father. Just saying. All right? I'm going to clear that up right now. I don't want to be the subject of any dirt sheet discussion.
There is none. What situation is this, Mr. Hero?
No, we're not going to do that.
Are you selfish or what?
Well, I recently learned
know what?
if you don't look out for yourself, nobody else is going to do it for you.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, that's rule number 1 of the Super Friends.
The what?
The Super Friends.
The Mighty Mouse Club.
The Mighty Mouse Club. Because they always save the day. I get time. You know what? I got, at least 2 or 3 more weeks until the next pay-per-view. I'll make my pick before then.
Well, let's talk about it tonight. As you said, Frank, Karma, big announcement. We learned last week that she was going to be taking some time away from WWE, and that time was rumored to be around 9 months. In my opinion, that was too much information to have gotten out there to, well, I'll just say it, to be legit. But tonight on Raw, Karma comes out to the ring and speaks for the first time. By the way, did a good job of it, in my opinion. Speaks for the first time and announces to the world that she's pregos with child, muffin in the oven, bun in the oven, and she's going to be taking some time off. And her dream was always to be in WWE, and she also worked for David Hero. I believe her quote was some dank and skank other wrestling organizations. I don't know what she means by that.
Yeah, that's, wow.
And is going to be taking time off. So surprising that WWE would put Karma in the ring not only to speak, but to speak about what appears to be a legitimate pregnancy.
You know what the interesting thing about this is? Now they can't fire her. You know what I mean? Because she came on TV, told the world that she's pregnant. So now, talk about great job security. Because if they were to fire her, that could be one heck of a lawsuit.
I think there's more to the story, though.
No, she's pregnant. I mean, that's where it's at.
Okay, when did you think she signed officially with them?
I think it was back in like October or November.
Okay, so
she's been signed for a while.
Oh, okay, 6 weeks. It's been she was on TV. So okay, I'm just trying to put the numbers together.
It's poor timing on her part because I don't think she'll ever get a bigger push, nor will she ever make as much money as she could have made. But
I think there is a part of the story we don't know about.
Like who the father is?
No, that doesn't make a difference. I really don't care who it is.
Well, think about it.
Whoa.
I don't. It has no
David.
It has no bearing at all on her character or
you
my.
You also disappeared
or
for a time in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah,
we
but
were at the Waffle House. You were nowhere to be found.
I wasn't with Karma. Come on now.
Wow. Are you hoping for a boy or a girl?
It's not me.
It's her.
You know, Frank was gone also for a little bit.
But we know where he was.
Where was that?
I have no comment on that.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have some comments, though.
But hold on a second. And we all know Linda disappeared a couple of times.
Whatever.
A couple of times.
What county were you in?
WrestleMania.
Can I get some comments here on Facebook regarding Karma? What we are talking about, may I?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. You are the social media diva.
All right, we did bring up the situation with Karma on Facebook, and we have a comment here from Philip Page Royale saying it was cool to get some realism and also some class shown by WWE. At the same time, her being pushed as a monster diva is brought to a halt. Doesn't bother me too much, though. But we also have a comment from Jason Lang saying, well, it's nice they kept it real and let her bring in her honest 2 cents. It's just a shame that all the build-up she had was wasted. Hopefully she comes back. My guess is after WrestleMania, if at all. You never know.
Here's the question, and thank you for those comments on Facebook. And Linda, our Facebook address is?
Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report.
Why do it? Why put Karma in the ring to announce that she's pregnant? Now, obviously, the fans were appreciative, and they were much more respectful than I would have expected them to be while she was in the ring. But I'm a little confused as to why they would do this and not just have her go away or maybe explain it in some other way.
A publicly traded company. How great does this make them look that they are giving one of their divas time off to go and start the family that she's always wanted? You know? It's a great, listen, Vince McMahon and company, they do everything to benefit them. And this just makes them look like a great family-oriented company. Even though the past few weeks has been pretty much racially motivated with all the comments and stuff that's been going back and forth, but there's a reason for it, and that's what it is.
Yeah, I think that, thinking about that makes more sense. Although, again, I'm going back to the timing feature of this. I have an opportunity to work with WWE.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll get pregnant now.
Wow. I mean,
you know what I mean?
I'm sure it was an accident.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sure it was an accident?
Amigo, when you get this kind of a push, it's a once-in-a-lifetime. You know, it's like dot the I's and cross the T's.
That's why I think there's maybe something else to it.
No. There can't be. What?
I don't know what it is.
What else could there be to it?
I don't know what
She's
it is.
She's pregnant.
Why would you risk that? You just signed a big deal with WWE, at least a year, and then you're going to go, I'm going to get pregnant?
Maybe they had her off TV too long.
We're going to discuss this and a lot more when we come back. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
They know their way around the wrestling ring, but certainly not a whole hell of a lot about being in it. This is the Pro Wrestling Report Radio.
Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, ESPNMilwaukee.com. Very special Memorial Day edition of the Pro Wrestling Report. Damian Nelson here along with the lovely Linda Kay, the Studley Kaz, and the Dudley Hero.
Dudley?
You're the lost Dudley boy, I thought.
Dudley do right.
Wow.
David don't.
What's all the hatred for today?
I don't hate. I'm not capable of hate. Let me give you a philosophical statement. All right.
Okay. Are you going to strategize?
If you hate someone, they're winning because it takes energy to hate.
It does, doesn't it?
So don't hate them.
Be
the nicest person in the world to those you don't like. David, how are you tonight?
I'm absolutely tremendous.
It's so great to see you.
Right?
I haven't seen you in about a week. How was your weekend?
It's been a long. You know what? It was a really good weekend.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Fabulous.
Great.
Yeah.
Why don't we play Can You Feel the Love Tonight in the background?
Why don't you worry about your own Simba? How does that sound?
We're talking about Karma and her pregnancy announcement tonight on WWE Raw, and the reasoning behind that. And one thing that was brought up, David Hero, is about WWE being a publicly traded company and some mistakes they might be trying to avoid, especially a mistake that they made in the past. And that mistake was Dawn Marie, who got fired when she was pregnant, and probably because she was pregnant from WWE. That turned out to be pretty ugly because a lawsuit then followed. So given that, WWE has made some missteps, and let's not forget, recently in the state of Connecticut, it was ruled that they had not paid the appropriate amount of workman's compensation claims and got fined about $7,500, which, of course, is no big deal. They're contesting that fine, not because of the fact that it's $7,500, but the precedent that it sets, and it means and shows that they agree that their wrestlers, their performers, are not independent contractors, but employees.
Right, and that's a good point. But they also sign contracts. So with that, there's got to be some type of detailed language that falls under hey, you get pregnant, you're just like an employee at that point. But it all has to, whatever's written in that contract is important news too.
This is all political. That's what it is. You know what? Read between the lines, everybody. They're not going to fire her. It would be way too much bad publicity.
That they won't do.
Also on Raw, we continue to see the evolution of R-Truth. And tonight, R-Truth not only starting off the show, but ending off the show in a match with John Cena. And it seems clear that going into the next WWE pay-per-view, it's going to be John Cena versus R-Truth. That certainly is going to put fingers on the remote and eyes on the screen. But one thing that can't be denied, R-Truth is as entertaining as he's ever been in this role.
He is. He's extremely entertaining, and they need to do more of that with him to make it believable that he has a chance of beating John Cena, a guy that survives everything. You know, but he's never fought the suntanned Superman before. This could be interesting. but it's not going to make me want to buy the pay-per-view.
No.
I mean, right now, at the rate they're going, they're going to build it around R-Truth and Cena, which means all of the blast zone areas, like the Romines and the BW3s that show these pay-per-views should be packed because people aren't going to want to drop $45 or $50 on this.
Correct. But I do like what they're doing with R-Truth. His run there where he was singing and dancing and stuff, it basically came to an end.
You know what? I give them props for trying to create new stars.
Right.
They're trying to create or recreate R-Truth. They're working on doing the same thing with Alex Riley.
A-Rod.
It's a slow and sure
Miz
build.
made him such a huge star. Look at that kid, that boy. He'd be nowhere if it wasn't for the bravest man on Raw tonight for wearing that pink shirt. It's Memorial Day.
It was
you could start
fuchsia.
wearing pink on
that
Memorial
was not
Day.
pink. It was fuchsia.
It
was ridiculous.
It's near it on the wheel, all right?
Mhm.
But he made A-Rod a star.
He did. Absolutely, because he sold for him. But I will say this. A-Rod made himself a star because he showed fire that I have yet
Tenacity?
to see of anybody else
Ruthless
on the
aggression?
Raw or SmackDown brand.
Testicular fortitude?
Absolutely. I honestly believed he wanted to kill The Miz tonight. That's how good it looked.
You're not condoning that kind of activity over there,
No,
are you?
of course not. Never.
All right. We've got our Twitter feed going on, and Dave, we got a tweet from Gail Kim Groupie.
Fantastic. That's not me, by the way.
Oh, okay. Saying, I tweeted you about a month ago and said if they let R-Truth get some mic time, he'd get over, and look, he's over. How about that?
Well, I don't know if he's over in a good
yeah,
way.
That's the question.
I don't know. I mean, is he really over? Or,
Getting there.
I mean,
We're talking
tons
about
of mic time.
we're talking about him because what else is there to talk about tonight?
Oh, he's going to make event.
Right?
There's a lot. We're going to talk about the X Division. We're going to talk about Michael Cole. We're going to talk about the Tough Enough elimination. We got a lot.
I've been
And Andre from Philly, CJ from Mobile, Glenn from Orlando, all on the phone. TNA's taping tonight.
Oh,
kicking
and we
people
can't
out.
give those spoilers out now, can we? Be careful, Damian Nelson.
Speaking of heat, yeah.
How
My
does that-
catering pass has
How
been
does
revoked.
that happen to you?
My catering pass has been revoked.
You know what's funny is we got a memo that says, Damian and the show is welcome to come to all the Impact Zone,
Yeah.
but we just can't tweet out any of the spoilers. Nice job, Nelson.
Way to go, man.
Why? Why are you such a heat machine?
Raw tonight saw CM Punk
That's what I
defeat
thought.
Rey Mysterio as well.
Great match, by the way.
Absolutely. Well, two great performers. But we also saw more of the promotion for WWE's next pay-per-view, Capital Punishment, and another dream sequence from Wayne's World with the President of the United States, POTUS, addressing a press conference, if he were to have done one reference, Capital Punishment. I say that with hesitation in my voice because, gosh, it's so ridiculous. However, the whole question about Rey Mysterio's mask was hilarious.
That came up.
When is too far
Well,
in this whole
I
thing?
mean, think about it. They asked President Obama if his wife is going to wear a leather mask. That's inappropriate. It's a little Rihanna-ish,
I was going to say that.
right?
I thought chains and whips excited you.
Well,
By the way, we still need to have a conversation about the corporate Amex.
I like it. Come on.
you know what?
Yeah, he liked it a little too much.
But it was worth it. Trust me. It was. I'm sorry. You know what? I am sorry. I did go overboard, but
We
it was
understand
probably
many of you
right
are trying to
over.
get through on the phone lines, and the lines are all full. So as we take calls in the next segment, go ahead and try to get in where you fit in.
Wait. Can I just address one thing? People are asking, who am I going to pick up for Karma now that she's going to be on maternity leave?
Yeah.
I got 2 weeks because there's a pay-per-view for 2 weeks. What does that mean?
Let me make something very clear here.
Yeah.
While I may not agree or disagree with him at all times, Frank hosts Fantasy Sports Weekly here on 540 ESPN Saturday mornings 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., thus making him the statesman of the draft. So ultimately, much like the referee, his word is final. However, Frank, did you get that envelope I sent to you in the mail the other day?
Now,
There was an envelope in your mailbox. I don't know if you got it.
I don't like the sound of this at all.
The check will clear.
you are correct,
Yes, absolutely.
except for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have 2 weeks. You don't have 2 days. You have about 2 hours.
This is the award-winning Pro
You've
Wrestling
gotta be
Report on
kidding me.
540 ESPN, streaming live on ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Subscribe to the Pro Wrestling Report on YouTube. We promise we'll never rickroll you, but we might just choke slam you. Click the subscribe button now and be part of the revolution. She's the calendar-posing, bar-crawling, concert-going, social media diva, Linda Kay. She's real, damn real. Welcome back to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Damian Nelson here along with the Cause.
Stop. This is more your collusional crap.
What are you talking about?
Because she first goes on maternity leave, and now right away I gotta pick up somebody. You had at least a week or 10 days.
Why are you so
Moore,
obsessed with this draft?
Because.
Oh, I'm sorry, because you're losing.
Because listen. Ever since you rigged the cards for me to pull the Miz on the wild card and everything else, this whole thing has been nothing but a complete mess.
Because you don't know how to pick. You're supposed to be the booker, the expert, the insider. Ha! Look who's winning.
But now I got what, an hour and a half to find a replacement.
Hey, you're Heats with Frank, not me. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report. We're going to get to the phone. You guys can join us on the phone lines as the lines become available. The number 414-276-ESPN and all over the world at 1-800-990-ESPN, 1-800-990-3776. Also on Facebook.
Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report.
And on Twitter.
Twitter.com/PWR Show.
And on Blog Talk Radio.
BlogTalkRadio.com/PWR.
Let's go to Andre in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You're live here on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Doing well. Tremendous night here in Milwaukee.
No, it's not tremendous. Bunch of
Dave, you're going to be all right.
I know I'm always going to be all right, but see, it's these hurdles and these hoops that I always have to jump through every week.
2 minutes.
You know what, Frank? You're lucky I'm not going to punch you in the mouth either tonight. Damien already got fired up. This is ridiculous.
Andre, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment on what I thought about Raw tonight.
Yes, please.
Yeah, is it just me, or is R-Truth in desperate need of a new look?
You mean new ring gear? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wait, you mean ring gear?
Yeah, I think it just doesn't match his new persona. It just seems like he needs to just get a complete overhaul.
Really? Are you talking
he
like
does need to overhaul?
or...
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
What differentiates him then from every other Joe, Tom, and Steve? And
Amigo, Airbrush.
But the Miz did the same thing. The Miz did the same thing. He got out of those terrible...
Andre? Linda gets very, very upset and offended when you start talking bad about the Miz. I just want to let you know that. So if you want heat with Melinda, talk bad about Miz. If you want to make sure that Linda's answering your emails and your texts and things of that nature, then take it easy.
It's not really a bad thing. I mean, when he changed his ring gear, he changed his look. He seemed like he got a better push. I mean, R-Truth ring gear just screams indie look to me.
Well,
it's just my personal.
The Miz was told to put trunks on because Vince thought he had great-looking legs.
Will you stop? Really? David Hero.
It's the truth.
What accusation?
Listen,
that's twice now that you've said something of
it is
that
the
nature
truth.
about Vinny Mac.
Vince loved Miz's legs. He says, hey, put some shorts on. Lose the baggy stuff. Maybe he doesn't like R-Truth's legs. Maybe he wants them covered.
Wow. Wow, there's not much I can really say to that.
No, I agree with you, Andre. I do agree that with the whole change with R-Truth's persona, he does need change with his attire. Absolutely.
That and I'm glad to actually see there was more wrestling tonight on Raw than
I agree with
any
that.
of the previous shows.
I agree.
So that's all I had to say. I'll listen to y'all guys on the radio.
Thank you very much for your call, Andre from Philadelphia. Let's go down to
Let's
go down to Mobile, Alabama. CJ, you're live.
Hey, how y'all doing today, man? I just want to go off and just pay my respects and just say hey to Miss Lovely Lady K.
What up?
David Hero, how you doing, my man?
I am.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm starting to cool down.
To Lord Damian Nelson, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing tremendous, CJ. Thank you so much for calling in. What are your thoughts?
Well, hold on. You forgot about the collusionist, Frank. I mean, if you're going to call Damien.
Hey, we don't want to forget about Frank. What's up, my man?
I'm doing well, man. What's on your mind?
I just want to go off and comment on the status of the WWE tonight. I've been a WWE fan since the 80s. And I just want to go off and agree with David Hero. I think one of the biggest things that WWE is lacking and misunderstood is that they need to have that curveball type creativity in their writing. For the last 4 months, their pay-per-views have been too predictable. You can just literally know who's going to win. You don't even have to turn on the TV anymore.
You're right on, man. You are right on.
I mean, far with somebody like an R-Truth, if you put him on maybe in like some leather pants and like some
and a white glove,
something besides the jeans, man, get him away from that. And if I was with Alex Riley, man, I just love the push that they're doing for him. That would be a good feud. It would be like a brother and brother type thing. You know what I'm saying? Mentor / teacher versus mentor type thing. That would be a good feud as well. John Cena needs somebody to go up and fight. That would be serious competition to him to make his fans wonder if he still has it. There's nobody in WWE that can do that right now.
Miz did.
Besides The Rock. No, The Miz, he lacked it in 2 pay-per-views, Damon Nelson. You my boy and everything, man. But
hey, he called you Lord.
Look, we need some better potential in the WWE. Yep. And all thing I can say is Attitude Era. Bring it back, please.
CJ from Mobile, thank you very much for that call. And, that's the sentiment that goes out very often is let's go back to the Attitude Era.
It'll never happen again.
You can't, David Hero, you use a term called lightning in a...
Yeah, lightning in a bottle.
And you can't always catch it again.
Never. Think about, okay, you know what, this weekend while I was chilling and relaxing.
Not doing your job.
Exactly. I thought about the depth of the rosters back then, the Attitude Era. You had Rock, Austin, DX. You had Mick Foley. You had Val Venus. You had Rikishi. You had Christian and Edge and the Hardy Boys and even the Dudleys and Kurt Angle. Talk about depth in the Attitude Era. You don't have that right now whatsoever. None of it. Right now on Raw, you got John Cena, Randy Orton, Del Rio,
The Miz.
I even forgot about Chris Jericho in Attitude Era. God, the depth was so much better back then.
And they could push the envelope back then, too.
And they're pushing it now. Did you hear the colorful language the past couple of weeks?
They're pushing it, and then they're doing the karma thing where they have to be politically correct so they don't get sued. So to me, that's an uneven balance.
All right, we've got your Twitter tweets, I should say, on twitter.com/PWR show. And, we have a new speed song here.
Yes. Speed Pipes.
Speed Pipes from the Milltown. We have a tweet here from Dazzler619 saying it just downloaded Lights Camera Action by Speed Pipes because it's so what, Damien Nelson?
Awesome.
Thank you.
And we also want to say that Joey Styles just sent out a tweet, and it looks pretty apparent now that R-Truth will indeed go on to face John Cena at Capital Punishment. Joey Styles saying that the Raw GM has ordered R-Truth to apologize.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The Raw GM has ordered R-Truth to apologize next week on Raw to earn a WWE title match with John Cena at Capital Punishment.
That is
video
the best
available now at
WWE.com.
WWE.
Of the night. You know why that's great news?
Because R-Truth is going to
Frank
get some pay-per-view
Collusionist,
points for me.
Because John Cena is going to retain, and that is mega points for me.
You'll need them. You'll need them.
That's fine. I'm going to get them. I just got to pick up somebody else in the next hour and 20 minutes.
Still to come here on the Pro Wrestling Report, we're going to be talking about TNA's refocus or recent refocus on the X Division and what that might mean going forward. And we're also going to share a lot of your comments that we're getting on Facebook, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report. Go there now, join the conversation. Maybe we'll include your comment right here on this very program. Kaz and Linda returned to PWR Interactive last week to Primetime TV. You're all over the social media world talking about comments from Twitter and Facebook and YouTube in that segment on PWR Primetime. David Hero, as we announced last week, PWR Primetime moves to Thursdays right after Impact. Available on demand once Impact goes off the air at PWRshow.com exclusively on Thursday nights. Giving it to you a day early. You got some kind of problem over there? I can't sit across from you if you're going to... You're evil. You and Newman are just pure evil.
Newman?
Yeah.
Why? Why am I paired up with Newman?
Because he's also pure evil. I've looked into his eyes. I've seen it. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Follow us on Twitter for breaking news, live wrestling chat, and pure hilarity. Head over to twitter.com/PWR Show and be part of the conversation. 540 ESPN. The Pro Wrestling Report. Informative, entertaining, and real since 1998. But you already knew that.
Welcome back to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, special Memorial Day edition, Monday, May 30th, 2011. Damian Nelson here along with Linda Kay, David Hero, and the Cause. Talking about professional wrestling, and one thing we really wanted to get to talking about is TNA's refocus, if you will, on the X Division, including some comments from Eric Bischoff recently, and obviously the storylines that we've seen on Impact Wrestling involving Brian Kendrick. But before we do that, let's get to a couple of your phone calls, and let's go to a patient, Glenn, in Orlando, Florida, who's been waiting on hold. You're live, Glenn.
Hey, guys.
Hello, Glenn.
No, not Meathead.
Oh, damn. Are you serious?
Yes.
Could this night get any worse?
Yes.
First the collusionist, now I'm called Meathead?
Yes.
Holy
David,
crap. All right, go ahead. Hurry up.
David Octavius Hero. Got a
Yes?
question for you.
I'm here.
I have a question that's mainly for you, but I want to get everyone's opinion on it, especially David and Linda's. What do you guys think about taking away the tag team division, tag team titles, and changing it to an intergender tag team division?
Why are you asking Linda and me about
Wait,
tag
are you talking about WWE or TNA?
WWE.
You can't do intergender. I mean, not right now you can't. I mean, it worked 10 years ago, but not anymore.
And remember,
Why do you say that?
including 10 years ago, or actually more like 20 years ago, remember there used to be in WCW, NWA, there was the tag team titles, the U.S. tag team titles,
TV
the six-man tag team titles. There were a lot of tag teams. Right now, tag team wrestling in WWE continues to be a JOKE joke, unless you are talking about Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel, of course.
Or beer money.
I said WWE, in case you don't realize that they work for TNA.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know what I just found out?
What'd you just find out?
Someone
Hot
got,
news? Wait, whoa.
Yeah. I can't say who it is, but someone just got released to their TNA contract.
And that's breaking news right here. But really not news because we can't.
Well, it's your fault. The whole spoiler thing?
It's not Tommy Dreamer.
No.
Because there's a lot of discussion about him not being at the Impact taping.
Can you
tonight.
give,
Well, his contract is up anyhow. Yeah.
The person you're referring to, not Tommy Dreamer.
Right.
Can you give a hint?
I don't know.
Was that
Can
a
I get
car
a couple
crash?
extra days on my
Was there a car crash out there?
Can I get a couple extra days on my pickup? That would be nice. That would give me a nice day.
You know, I could make it.
Thank you for that call, Glenn, down in Orlando, Florida.
Collusionist.
I don't think an intergender. I have no interest. I guess it could be fun for a little while. Do some intergender tag.
That would be
stuff,
a summer thing.
That sounds really funny there, Damian Nelson.
You could pay-per-view thing. I don't know about a title for that, but
No.
unless it involves Linda Kay, then yes.
Yeah? Now that would be a pay-per-view worthy
Let's
match.
go to Justin down in San Antonio, Texas. Justin's calling us on line 1. San Antonio, the Riverwalk. That's always fun.
How about that?
I was on that a couple of weeks ago. You know you can't bring your beverage outside on the Riverwalk. All right, well, Tillman, let's go to Justin in San Antonio, Texas, I almost said.
That would have been great.
Tillman's having an extended conversation with one of our callers, apparently, there. We attempt to go to Justin. Well, let's hold off and do that. Line 1, please, Tillman.
1-1-1.
Hello, Justin, you're live.
Norm.
Hey, Justin, how are you?
Good. I just want to comment. I know y'all haven't touched base on this, but I just want to comment on the Michael Cole thing with him. Just on commentary, acting like nothing happened. I mean, to me, it looks very, very dumb. I mean, they could bring back anybody to replace Michael Cole. I'll be fine with it. They could replace it with Don West or Tom Pettingill. I mean, it looks very, very dumb. I mean, they should have done
Tom
with
Pettingill?
Don West?
Somebody else.
Frank and George while you're at it.
Ken Resnick.
I mean, I'll even take Mark Madden to replace him at this
point.
Whoa!
I want to give me a cheeseburger.
But in all seriousness, at the end of Over the Limit, or not at the end, but during Over the Limit, they should have made to where that he was going to come out as the GM or something big to come out of this story. Like, ever since January, December, however long the feud was, I mean, we didn't get nothing big out of this at the end of it. I mean, it was just a waste of 6 months out of our lives with this feud.
It's not over with yet. It's far from over because he's being way too complimentary yet condescending while he's doing all of his commentary. It's far from done.
You think it will culminate at SummerSlam?
I hope it never culminates. I hope it just goes away. But yeah, they're far from done with this whole thing.
All right.
Thank you very much for that call, Justin, down in San Antonio. We're going to talk more about the Michael Cole thing later, but Josh Matthews not even used tonight on Raw. I mean, is he going to take another back seat?
I don't know. We don't talk about commentators here.
Well, we are.
You brought it up. I have no opinion on commentators.
You're an opinionist.
Right, but not on commentators.
That's what brung you. We're still taking your phone calls. We've got Will in Louisiana and Ron in D.C. waiting on hold. The number 414-276-3776, 414-276-3776, or all over the world at 1-800-990-ESPN, 1-800-990-ESPN. Linda's taking your comments right now, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report. Reference Michael Cole and reference the X Division from TNA Wrestling. So hop on over to that website and be sure to add your comments so that we can talk about those. Kaz, is it time?
Is it time?
Oh, my gosh.
David Hero's drafting.
You guys can't even collude together the right way now, can you?
There's no collusion here. I'm giving you 4 minutes before the Sports Center update to get this all worked out.
Do you have a pick?
No, not yet. You said I have until the end of the show.
It is the
now
end of the
you're
first
rushing
hour.
me?
He said
no,
the end of the first hour.
End of the show. I had
end
2
of the
hours.
First hour. It's 2
Stop
shows we
it.
do. We do
Stop
PWR and the PWR Zone.
I'm going to call legal.
Fine. You're going to be stubborn about it. Jeremiah was eliminated from WWE Tough Enough tonight. Next week, we get a live elimination edition of Tough Enough. So far, Tough Enough living up and I think exceeding many people's expectations because of the great host in Stone Cold Steve Austin. Last week, a tremendous guest in The Rock. This week, The Miz appearing on the show as well. WWE
He was brutal. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
WWE seemingly finding a good auxiliary program for them to highlight their talents on, but are they making the right picks and the right eliminations on Tough Enough? Because this Christine shouldn't have lasted as long as she did.
Oh, come on.
She was horrible.
That's Foxy's sister. That's political.
Okay, great. Super. But she's horrible. And
Okay.
all these reality shows are lies.
Can
anyway.
I be honest?
They're all a joke. American Idol's a farce.
Can I be honest? The 2 finalists, I don't see either one of those 2 really making it. I think Luke, they will tear him apart in the locker room. Absolutely.
Right, like they tore apart The Miz, and The Miz
Yeah.
becoming WWE champion after being torn apart in the locker room.
And Andy, I mean, great. The guy looks like $1 million.
Right.
But boy, I don't know. You know what, I watched that show because of Stone Cold Steve Austin. He makes it interesting, entertaining, and real. And
what he says is real.
Absolutely.
The man, it shows you. Someone called about and talked about the Attitude Era earlier. It shows you just how great of a talent he has to deliver, and he delivers on Tough Enough. And he's being Steve Austin. He's just reacting and performing, if you will, because obviously cameras are there, but he's doing a spectacular job at it.
Here's what could work for the last two guys, whoever gets picked. They have to come out as a heel. It worked for Wade Barrett. I don't think it's worked for anyone else that's won this program. I might be wrong on that, and I'm sure there's somebody out there who will say, no, that one wrestler, that one was a heel. You start off as a heel coming out of this thing, I think it works for you. If you come as a face, it doesn't. At least that's the trend.
I just don't think either one of those two kids is going to make it.
But is it a good platform? Are people getting invested enough? Because we know reality shows such as this where there's voting off and cast-offs and things of that nature. People get invested into a particular character. Can that carry over to the wrestling product, whether it be on SmackDown or on Raw? The people who supported that particular star on Tough Enough getting immediately behind that star and supporting them and wanting to see them continue to succeed because they've invested since day one.
That's how you make a star, is by getting invested in them. But I don't think these two kids are any more talented than the kids that were in NXT. And those kids haven't made it yet.
Well, Wade Barrett.
But one out of how many?
That's what I'm saying. I think it worked for him because he went heel.
I hope that whoever they pick becomes a star because they need new stars. But from what I've seen so far, I don't see it yet.
Who do you think is going to win?
Luke.
Yeah, that's my pick also.
Luke.
Linda, you go with Luke? The pretty boy?
With Luke? That's not why. But yes,
I was not insinuating that. I was simply giving a descriptor to him.
Okay. Go with Luke.
Probably the obvious choice. I mean, I would assume maybe his legs are nicer.
Well, I don't know. Well, we'll see, I guess. I mean, does he wear shorts or does he wear pants?
I think it's a mixture of the two.
So half and half?
Zack Ryder?
Like Zack Ryder, so tight. Speaking of Zack Ryder, again on Raw tonight, I thought it was clever how they had Scott Stanford using his cell phone to take a video of him in the back. I still think that this Zack Ryder stuff on YouTube is not just Zack Ryder.
No,
WWE
he has the power
of
the machine behind him on that.
If that's true, this is an amazing experiment that they're running that is going to work tremendously. But again, as we talked about with the Tough Enough stars, whoever wins that translate well to programming. Will Zack Ryder translate well to Raw or SmackDown, being more prominently featured on those shows than on YouTube? That's a question that I think will be answered down the road. You know, Tough Enough is looks like season 2 is in the works. Looks like we are going to have another season of Tough Enough. Hopefully they stay true to form. And it's always funny when I watch this Tough Enough, I think of what NXT should have been and what we at least thought it was going to be based off of WWE's early descriptions of the program. And Tough Enough obviously winning, NXT obviously losing. Is there a way to combine those two shows perhaps and make it more of a prevalent thing for WWE?
I think it could work, possibly. There's so many different avenues they can go with that, and if they put it together, I think it could work.
We'll see what happens.
They got to find some creative indie workers out there.
They need a great manager. They need somebody who can be the likes of a Dr. Style Slick.
Exactly.
They need somebody who
and
can be
that
a
guy
sweetheart,
was on
Bobby
Superstars last week.
Armando Alejandro.
We just have a little issue.
Estrada. What's wrong?
Well, he's out there on Superstars. There'll be Raw and SmackDown soon. He still has the GLCW championship.
You're not going to sue him, are you?
Well, no, I'm not going to sue him. We got to figure
something out. There's a whole thing going on with Ric Flair, who's got a warrant issued for his arrest.
Well, that's Ric Flair. I mean, this is a guy that's been married 4 times. He hasn't learned yet.
The 4th time's the charm, apparently. But yeah, Armando Estrada back on WWE Superstars this past Thursday. It airs on WWE.com. That's a return that's been long in the works, and managing Tyson Kidd, who had a brief stint with P.S. Michael Hayes. When we come back, we're going to talk about that X Division story, Michael Cole, and so much more. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report here on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Live from the 540 ESPN studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is the Pro Wrestling Report with David Hero, Frank Cosentino, Linda Kay, and your host, Damian Nelson.
Welcome back to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, ESPNMilwaukee.com. Frank, must you really be dancing? Really? Really? I know it's a great song and everything.
We got another hour to go.
We're live on Memorial Day, Monday, April 30th, May 30th, 2011. Damian Nelson, along with the cause, David Octavius and Tiberius, the alleged Hall of Famer, Hero, and Linda Kay, the social media diva.
We've got some tremendous, heated discussion going on right now at Blog Talk Radio. And again, you can join that discussion at blogtalkradio.com/PWR.
And we're taking your phone calls as well. We've got Milos in Toronto, Will in Louisiana, around in D.C. We'll get to those calls in a minute. But, gentlemen, before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about Michael Cole. The question that's out there. Obviously, they've done or put forth efforts to have WWE to put Michael Cole back in the broadcast position, almost like nothing ever happened over the last few months between him and Jerry the King Lawler. The question is, can they do that? Will fans accept Michael Cole as a commentator, or does it not matter? Or long-term, did it or will it help Michael Cole? Meaning fans now, whether they hate him or love him, they have an emotion for him.
My thought when they started doing this was, what wrestler are they going to put into the mix, and is that wrestler going to get a push? And they kind of added Swagger.
They teased Swagger.
And then it just kind of went away. So I think this whole feud is done, in my opinion. I think they just Cole will say some things about how much he likes The Miz and they'll keep that going. But other than that, I think it's done. And they're just going to make this, well, everybody forgets what he did the last 6 months. I think it's going to happen.
But do you honestly think that the snarky, smarky Michael Cole is just going to go away?
I think he'll keep some of that. But what else can they do with him? You can't just keep going up against Jerry Lawler. Everyone will just be enough. We've done that. We've seen that so many times now.
Absolutely. And we do have some of your comments on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report. Regarding Michael Cole, we have a comment from Jared Howard saying, not this fast. They should have eased us back into it after a couple months. Having everything go back to normal right away completely lacks logic. And we also have another comment here from Jorge Ortiz saying, after that angle, I want him out of TV for a while. If they want him cutting a promo tonight, night after night, have him manage someone. What do you think about that?
You know what they should have done is Lawler should have dumped him on his head twice with a pile driver, not Cole out of action for a couple months.
Right.
Then let Cole come back with a Jack Swagger or somebody as his new charge that he can manage and make him an on-air character, which in 2 months' time would have given them enough opportunity for Damian's buddy. What's
The Miz?
No. Oh, shoot.
Who's my buddy?
Joey? What's that name?
Josh Matthews?
Josh Matthews, that's it.
He did call me Maven once.
He did. You know.
My eyebrows are not that thick.
And that would have made sense. You know, and then that's when Cole can come back and say he was the anonymous GM and has some new fire and whatnot. But just too much of a mess.
Was there a payoff for this whole Michael Cole thing?
Not yet. Not yet.
You still think something's going to go down?
Absolutely.
You think Cole's going to get got?
He will. No question about it.
Huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, site of WrestleMania 6 and 18. Milos, you're live.
Hey, how you guys doing? How you doing, amigos?
Amigo.
Hash mark tremendous.
It's the way to play it. What do you have for us this week?
Well, first off, I just want to make a statement and tell you, Damien, that I see your endorsements are falling apart. I see Cody's tapping, Miz is getting destroyed, and Heath Slater's getting destroyed. So if I were a superstar, I don't think I want to be endorsed by Damien Nelson anymore.
Milos, you make valid points, but Paula Abdul said it best. Sometimes you have to take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. Opposites attract at times.
Yeah, well, I don't care about Paula Abdul, so that's completely irrelevant. And
Let me go over the list of those who I have endorsed. And let's remember the number one endorsement I've ever made was The Miz. I've also endorsed Heath Slater and Crimson and Cody Rhodes. Superstars. Just look at WrestleMania 28, Miami, Florida.
Cody Rhodes in the Battle Royal in the dark match.
No.
WrestleMania 28 is The Rock and John Cena.
Right, but building up to that, the mid-card, if you will, will be nothing more than a
you
shadow.
Just called your guys our mid-carders.
Will be nothing more than a shadow to the dual main events that will involve Heath Slater, Cody Rhodes, and The Miz. Just mark it. Write it down. It's going to happen. Milo, you may not be a believer now. I understand that. You don't have the acumen that I do. But it's true. It's damn true.
Does it ever get dizzy in that spin zone you live in, Damien?
David Hero, he's got to take meds for that, and literally he can't sit in the same place for a long period of time because his head starts
I don't
spinning.
spin anything.
Oh, I was talking about Damien.
Yeah, I know. I'm just telling Damien I don't spin anything. He's lost his mind tonight.
He's spinning it right now.
I'm staying on message. That's what I'm doing. I'm staying on message.
Well, I stay on point. Big difference.
All right, well, I have a quick question for you guys.
Yes, sir.
I heard WWE signed this guy Verno, who was Sin Cara's main rival in Mexico, to help him look good when he's on SmackDown.
They need this because obviously nobody else on SmackDown has a clue how to work with Sin Cara.
Chavo.
No.
I have
didn't work.
No, that stunk. I have a 2-part question. 1, how long do you think they could go with that? And 2, once he's done with that, who's he going to feud with next? Because he won't really learn the style of feuding with another guy who doesn't know the style.
Yeah, see, for me that doesn't make a whole lot of sense as to why they would bring in somebody else that's going to have the same ring style and technique as the guy that's already struggling.
Well, but let's break it down. WWE is struggling domestically. Fact.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to continue to expand internationally, and we found out recently that I believe in October they're going to be doing Raw and SmackDown from Mexico. And they're trying to focus on why is the Great Khali still in WWE? He's huge in India.
He's money
huge
for
everywhere.
WWE. He's 7'6".
He makes money for WWE in India. These talents from Mexico are going to pay huge dividends for WWE when they go to Mexico and in their Mexican markets where they broadcast. It's a very smart move. As a global company, they have to focus on things like that.
You know what, but I think it's their way of not admitting that they failed with, as the Clusionist calls it, Sincera, right?
That's right.
I asked the question when the Sin Cara thing was done, would it be another Taka Michinoku? Remember all the hoopla?
Taka.
Remember all the hoopla
Indeed.
over Taka Michinoku's signing? There was a press conference. He's going to be a big star, going to be a huge star. And all I remember about Taka Michinoku was his face plant at a random Royal Rumble when he got eliminated and knocked himself out.
No, but it wasn't Taka that got all the big hoopla. It was the other guy.
It was Taka.
No.
It was Taka.
Taka was the opponent. It was some other guy from
No,
Japan.
it was Taka with the big
Amigo,
signing.
I'm not wrong.
No, you're wrong. You're
Taka,
damn wrong.
Taka with his.
It was Great Sasuke is who you're thinking
No,
about.
it was Taka.
Yes.
Go to YouTube right now. Find the press conference. It's there. Look. Maybe I'm just not going to talk
Taka
to you
had
for the
a great
next.
feud with Val Venus.
Choppy, your pee-pee.
You just like the choppy stuff, collusionist. Listen, you know what? Put out there to the
They may have made a big deal as well about Suzuki.
It was Suzuki because the Suzuki wrestled Taka, and Taka got more over than Suzuki. Yes. See, this is why I'm paid the big bills to correct you.
You just keep on talking because you're so wrong. It's funny.
Okay,
I
somebody
have
prove me
an
wrong.
excellent long-term memory.
Mine's great. It's just short, but I know about this for sure.
This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Live from the 540 ESPN studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is the Pro Wrestling Report with David Hero, Frank Cosentino, Linda Kay, and your host, Damian Nelson. 540 ESPN. Welcome back to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
No, it was Suzuki.
Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
I'm looking.
800-990-3776. Locally Milwaukee, 414-276-3776.
Who understood it?
We are back.
This is ridiculous. Now you got Linda on your. It's like 3
I don't
on
have
1.
anybody on my side. She's researching.
More. She needs to research a little bit more. I know I'm right. There's not many.
As host of the show, you really should grab a hold of it. You just can't come back out of a break and be arguing about something that we still don't even.
Didn't get a notification in my headset we were coming back.
The red light goes on. You go on.
I thought that meant something else.
I did too.
Let's go to the phones.
Yeah.
We've got Will in Louisiana online, too. Will, you're live here on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Just want to say, everybody, keep the troops in your thoughts today.
Absolutely.
Great point.
So, just want to say that. And Damian, David, you two argue like an old married couple. I'm laughing so hard at the end of this line. I can't believe you two.
Well, I have experience of that.
Oh, my God.
I'm smarter than that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh, I got me laughing so hard. I just want to make a quick comment tonight about Raw, and I just want to say I have not been so excited for the rise of a superstar as much as I am about Alex Riley right now. What he's doing right now is getting me excited. The last time I got this excited, I think, was when Daniel Bryan came back to the WWE. There's something about Alex Riley that makes me want to tune in and watch him.
Yeah, the rub the Miz gave him.
You know, Riley has the tools. He can talk. He has size. He's a good-looking guy.
Absolutely.
I just hope they don't.
How are his legs?
I don't know. I haven't seen his legs. I'm not going to check out his legs.
Linda, how are
his legs?
Tremendous.
Let me tell you.
I can tell you about Alicia Fox's legs. I can tell you about Gail Kim's and the others, but I don't know about A-Rye. But
I don't want to open that subject.
Yeah, we don't open any legs around here, do we? Listen, here's the thing. It's like I hope they don't bury him in a feud with The Miz where he loses. If they're smart, what they do is they put a belt on Riley before he goes into his program with The Miz.
A prop, you mean?
A prop.
He has the perfect look of a typical WWE superstar, in my opinion. He has all the tools to be something big, in my opinion.
I think he does. I think he could. And let's not forget, he was paired with The Miz for a reason on the road. The Miz is a hard-working guy. He was the company yes man, where whatever they wanted something done, he would do it. And
and they look alike.
And I'm sure that Alex Riley picked up on that. And, I'm sure if they're smart and they build it the right way, it can mean a lot where both guys can get better, where The Miz can get back in that title picture, and at the same time, Alex Riley means more than just being a lower mid-card guy.
Let's not forget,
You forgot that The Miz and Alex Riley shared hair gel on the road, too, just saying.
Well, that's how rumors start.
Let's not forget, Alex Riley was seen as one of the standouts on NXT the season he was on.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
So
who won that one?
No, Caval won that season.
Right. Oh,
yeah,
forgot about that.
That did wonders for his career.
Why did I know that? I need to be an analyst on PWR show, I guess.
Well, we do have a spot opening up on the Mighty Mouse Club.
Evil. I'm in Louisiana, way down south. Sorry, guys.
Louisiana. Well, thank you so much for calling here into the Pro Wrestling Report. Let's go to Ron in the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C.
Wait a minute. Ron is calling from Capital Punishment?
Well,
yes, sir.
Our truth?
We can go into a dream sequence here if you'd like.
Okay, I hope not.
Ron, you're live.
How you guys doing tonight? Hola, amigos.
Hey, my man.
Hola.
Bueno.
How you guys doing tonight?
Tremendous.
Waiting for you, man. What's going on?
Oh, man, I'm just waiting for Capital Punishment. I'm just waiting for Capital Punishment to come down. But I do have to say, though, that I'm very excited that ROH is getting this. This got purchased by Sinclair Group. And I'm speaking as me as a wrestling fan. Raw was. But first, I want to say Raw was great tonight, and Raw was okay tonight. But I'm so happy to see ROH getting the promotion that I think is going to get pushed behind it with the Sinclair Group, and also having a major national television distribution that's going to be going behind ROH. I can't wait to see what's going to go down with this. And I know fans, including myself, because I talk with a lot of my friends who are huge wrestling fans, they are so excited to see that ROH is getting ready to come and get that national exposure that it definitely needs in order to stay around. And I have a feeling that TNA is going to be the third company if ROH come out and fans catch on to it and really grab onto it, because ROH has the greatest potential to become one of the best wrestling companies in North America, in my view.
Ron, thank you very much for that call. Ron, two things. Hopefully you've been to the Newseum in Washington, D.C., which is literally one of my favorite places on this planet now. I spent 2 days there a couple of months ago. Here's the thing about ROH, Ring of Honor. It is, much like ECW was, in my opinion, a niche product. It has a certain audience that it can cater to. And that's fine. That's great, because if they're focusing on that segment, they can be successful in that segment. World Wrestling Entertainment and Impact Wrestling, TNA Impact Wrestling, they are, whether TNA wants to admit it or not, more entertainment-driven. ROH is entertaining if you're a pure wrestling fan. And this does present great opportunity for Ring of Honor Wrestling, but I think there's a ceiling on how popular they can get. And much like that ceiling that was on ECW as far as how popular they could have gotten and did get. This is obviously huge news for Ring of Honor and will be good for ROH, but at the same time, I think it's a great fit for them. And those of you listening here in Milwaukee, obviously, and if you don't know, actually, the Sinclair stations in this market, channels 18 and 24, very excited to be able to watch Ring of Honor on a regular basis. What the potential does exist for, though, is those who are disenfranchised by WWE or TNA could find Ring of Honor and could find it in its time slot that it's going to be airing in, which is going to be good, and could find it and say, this is refreshing, this is different, this is wrestling. If they stick to the show they were doing on HDNet, an hour of basically wrestling, a couple 2-3 matches, I think they've got an opportunity.
But what drives wrestling? Okay, when WCW got big, what made it big?
Hogan coming over?
Hogan, NWO, familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Who on the ring? No, hold on. I'm not bashing Ring of Honor. I want them to do extremely well. But if I'm flipping through the channels, just being an average wrestling fan or an old wrestling fan that doesn't watch anymore, and I don't recognize anybody, why am I gonna tune in? They need something. So for some, TNA may be hurt by this, but the fact is, if you flip on TNA, you will probably recognize a couple of the guys on that show. Whereas with Ring of Honor right now, Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, are they going to watch you? Are those two guys going to make you want to stop and watch that show? They need something else to suck people in to watch.
Black Friday. Why does Best Buy have the big special on the big digital camera or camcorder or whatever you need, of which they only have 4 or 5 of in the store? To get you in the door because you're going to buy something else. That's exactly what you're saying, Dave Hero. You need that attention grabber.
Mm-hmm.
You need that big name. You need that anchor. You need that icon. You need that person that you could say, wow, they are here thus endorsing this product. Let me give it a try.
And Terry Funk is not the answer for Ring of Honor. So don't say it'll be Terry Funk, or they need a splash.
And you're both correct. There's also one more thing that they need, and that's money. You've got to market your product.
Oh, they have money. A network owns them.
Well, yes, they own them, but will they put money into them?
They need the programming.
We had a lot of discussion about this on last week's Pro Wrestling Report Primetime. Got a comment in the chat room on Blog Talk Radio, user named PWR in a box. Says, who in WWE will you recognize if you haven't watched in years? And I think that point expands a bit because while there may not be those recognizable stars, there may not be that anchor, they do have now marketing behind them. They have a good product. Let's not lose that point. They have a good product, but what you watch, 5 million people a week watch Raw. 2 million people a week watch Impact. Whether they like it or not, they're tuning in each and every week. And they're not watching it as much as people say. And I've said this before. People are not watching Monday nights and Thursday nights to see great wrestling action.
Because they're trained to watch it.
Exactly.
You guys are both right on. They're watching the product.
You know what? We can both be right because that Rapture thing might be coming then.
Back in the day.
It's now October.
Back in the day, though, when you watch, let's talk about World Class Championship Wrestling, which used to be on Channel 18 on Saturday or Sunday morning. Yeah. It was worldwide. It was WCCW. It was, and then Glow was on at the end of the night. World Class was wrestling, but you cared about the Von Erichs. You cared about the missing link.
UWF,
you cared
Savannah
about
Jack.
Skandar Akbar. You cared about Gary Hart's guys. You cared about what was going on, but at its core, they focused on wrestling. Any storyline stuff they did, as far as promos and whatnot, was intertwined. It was a post-match or a pre-match, and it made sense. The market has changed. And as you said, David Hero, people are trained differently now. This discussion will go on for months, especially leading up to Ring of Honor's debut in September on the Sinclair station. We'll continue to talk about it as well. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report here on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Missed an episode on the Pro Wrestling Report? Thanks, pal. Subscribe to the show on... Missed an episode on the Pro Wrestling Report? Thanks, pal. Subscribe to the show on iTunes and take the show with you wherever you go, even in the bathroom. Stop stalking your ex and be our friend on Facebook and join the tremendous worldwide discussion. Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report.
Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, ESPNMilwaukee.com, and Blog Talk Radio. We're live on Memorial Day, Monday, May 30th, 2011. Damian Nelson, along with Linda Kay, the Cause, and David Octavius Tiberius Hero.
You know, there's been this big debate in this room tonight regarding this press conference with either Great Suzuki or
Didn't
Taka.
happen.
It's Sasuke.
Mission. Suzuki.
That's why you guys can't find it, because you're looking for the wrong name.
Sasuke. Right?
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, okay, so...
Don't get hot, Linda. Damn.
All right. Well, we have a challenge here to all of you in the PWR universe. We have a challenge via Facebook. Whoever posts on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report, please find that footage of either Great Suzuki or Taka Michinoku signing with the WWE.
No.
The press conference.
The press conference.
There could be like 3 different ones. We're talking about Great Sasuke was signed. He got all the big pomp and circumstance.
All I'm asking, all Linda's asking, is to find a press conference from either or.
Either
and now
or.
you're spinning more than Booker T does in the middle of the ring. You're spinning, trying to make this work your way, trying to change the rules as we go along to make this work for you. You gotta be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not, because I know I'm right.
It's not about being right.
Yes.
You may be right. Let me say that. You may be right.
Now
That's how
that
much of
makes
a
me
man I am.
smile.
You may be right. I know you're wrong.
It's all about the Great Suzuki.
Michinoku had a press conference that aired on WWE television that showed
Are we
his
really
signing.
wasting time about the Great Sasuke and Taka Michinoku?
You're the one who started the fight. You put the gloves on first. You stepped in the ring first. You put your mouth guard in your mouth first.
Well, where else would it go?
Let's go to James calling us in Houston, Texas. James, you're live here on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Hey, guys, I hope you enjoyed y'all's Memorial Day with plenty of barbecue.
Yes, I did.
You know what? Let me tell you this, James.
Oh, boy, here
Let
we
me
go.
pull a hero here and make it all about me. All I wanted today was a bratwurst. That's really it. I never
Just
got a
one
bratwurst.
sausage? That's all you
A
asked for?
bratwurst.
Real quick, before I get into my question, did y'all guys cover Tough Enough already? Because I just now started listening to the show because I was busy.
Yes, everybody here picked Luke to win, and that's about it.
Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you guys if y'all could grade Tough Enough. What would it be, like a letter grade? And are you guys looking forward to it next year? And I have another miscellaneous question. I know it's kind of early, but I like to save my money and stuff like that. Do you know when you guys are going to have any information on the Sweet and Sexy package in Miami, so I can get my money together and buy y'all shots and stuff down there?
Yeah, baby.
Rumpo Men's. Let me tell you this, James, down in Houston, there will be a Sweet and Sexy package in Miami, Florida. We have been in contact with the arena, the stadium. We are waiting to hear back from them on specifics on that plan, and it will go on sale on or around the same time WrestleMania tickets go on sale. But Sweet and Sexy will return, and we're planning on making it bigger, better, and badder than it was in 11 this year down in Atlanta, where in the suite with us was
Road Dogg,
X-Pac.
X-Pac, Brad Armstrong.
You ain't going to get that nowhere else. And, yes, indeed, Sweet and Sexy will return next year in Miami. And I want to make something very, very clear to all of you here. If I am allowed to go to South Beach, I will not make it to WrestleMania. I need you as my friends to ensure I do not go to South Beach.
I want you to go to South Beach, Damien. I do. I think that would be great. Imagine the tweet.
Don't play these games. Don't try to reverse me. You know that, me. James, do you have anything else?
strategizing. I think James is gone.
Oh. And then you hung up on James.
No, Frank hung up on him.
I did not. No, I did not.
I can't wait for Miami. I don't know about you fellas, but I can't imagine going to go on down there.
I have imagined
shenanigans
go on down there. All right, so we heard recently, ladies and gentlemen, and you saw on the Destination X poster from TNA Wrestling, a refocus, it seems, on the X Division. We know on TV for the last few weeks they've been talking about the X Division getting its time, getting its space. Now, while Abyss is the X Division champion, and say what you want about that, clearly there's been more discussion about the X Division, and it looks as if Destination X will again go back to featuring the X Division. The question I have, and Eric Bischoff, by the way, saying stay tuned, and that thinking and saying that we'll be surprised by some of the things coming out of the X Division. Is it too late? Has TNA ruined what they had in the X Division? Have fans walked away from it emotionally? Is it too late?
Absolutely. If the X Division couldn't sell pay-per-views with Joe and Daniels and AJ and Kaz, what makes you think you're going to sell pay-per-views with Kendrick, the Bucks, Amazing Red, and Sangre Rita, or whatever they want to call him under the hood?
Totally has lost steam. That momentum is gone. And the rest of the mentioned, that's not going to make
and listen, the guys I mentioned are very talented, but they're not Joe and AJ and Daniels and Kaz and
totally lost momentum, and if they can get it back, we'll see if it does. It's up to the fans to make it happen.
They've still had X Division style matches. Granted, it's been a while since we've seen an Ultimate X match. The Terror Dome or whatever they were calling it. They haven't done that since Homicide couldn't get in. They still have those talents, though. They still have people who can do great wrestling, and if wrestling matters to Impact Wrestling, isn't this a great way to show that by renewing focus on the X Division?
That brings me up to something.
You're always up to something.
I don't like it if they say it's not wrestling anymore.
What?
Everyone says, I want wrestling. Wrestling matters. They're upset they're taking wrestling out of the WWE. Is it really wrestling? No, it's not.
It's not Greco-Roman.
Why is everyone taking this so seriously?
Because they want their wrestling.
It's grappling. It's not real wrestling, so don't take it so personal, everybody. Relax.
I believe it's a figurative sense. They want wrestling. People want wrestling to matter because of the likes of some of the stuff we see on WWE and TNA programs.
I don't think they want to watch wrestling. They just want to see the name wrestling in the title.
One person said to me at one point in my life a statement that I will never forget and means so much, which is, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. What would happen if WWE on Raw every Monday night gave you 1 hour and 27 minutes of wrestling? nobody talking, just match after match after match.
Ring of Honor.
You'd be bored. Because, as you said, David Hero, they're conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
They're conditioned for that entertainment. Why is the most highest-rated segment in the history of WWE Raw a birthday party or a This Is Your Life promo for The Rock? It's not a wrestling match.
And if you look at the tweets and the Facebook feeds and all the comments, it's not about what a great match there was. Did you see what he said, how he screwed up that interview? No one talks about the actual matches anymore.
But people talk about how great the match was between Christian and Randy Orton at the pay-per-view Over the Limit. People talk about how great the matches were between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. People talk about how great the match was between Triple H and The Undertaker.
Oh, now listen to yourself. You just said Orton and Christian.
I know, a few matches I listed, but the point
Triple
is
H
people do
and Shawn Michaels.
People do realize when there are those good wrestling matches presented because on WWE television they are so rare. But people buy tickets to what? House shows to see what? Wrestling. You get mostly wrestling at house shows.
Yeah.
That's what people are going to. So there is an audience for it, David Hero, and they are conditioned for it, I think. I'm right down the middle like Bill Alfonso on this one. I think that it can be either or, but I think a great wrestling contest fits great in with an overall great entertainment program. But it's part of the whole package. Not the total package. The whole package.
I agree. I will agree with you on that, Damian
You
Nelson.
guys are agreeing a lot tonight.
Listen.
That's because he's trying to kiss my tail so he can get a pick in this draft. I have nothing to do with it. Hands off. Nothing to do
You
with it.
put a letter in his mailbox. Of course you had something to do
That
with
was his contract payment.
Uh-huh.
This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Missed an episode on the Pro Wrestling Report? Thanks, pal. Subscribe to the show on iTunes and take the show with you wherever you go, even in the bathroom. Go! 540 ESPN. It's time for the Superhero Song of the Week on the Pro Wrestling Report here on ESPN Radio.
Have a speech impediment or something?
You just gotta change it up once in a while.
Is this like the Thunderpuss remix?
This is the three-way remix.
I'm sorry?
Brittany and Rihanna.
You know, I went to a Britney Spears concert earlier today.
Did you really?
Yeah, I put the CD in the car.
Nice. Did you see them in the Billboard Awards last weekend? Ooh
Yeah.
la la. Speaking of ooh la la, someone stole my idea and made it into a song.
What song?
I forgot who it was. It's Grace Newton or Grace Potter.
Adele?
It's called Ooh La La. I'm not very pleased about that.
You stole that.
What do you mean I stole it?
Ooh La La's not yours. Why is this still in my ear?
I hash marked Ooh La La. You gotta kill it like that, slowly, baby. Come on, you gotta nice and easy. That's what's happening here.
Let's go to our final phone caller of the night here on the Pro Wrestling Report. Mike from Moreno Valley. You're live here on the Pro Wrestling Report. Hello, Mike.
To the tick-tick-tock.
Looks like we lost Mike from out on the West Coast. You can give us a call or try again. Well, next week. Since we only have a few minutes left here. We don't have time for these Hero Song of the Weeks, and it should be the Mighty Mouse. Who recorded those drops? It should be the Mighty Mouse Club Song of the Week.
Why? What don't you like it? Why are you hating on Mighty Mouse?
Here's the problem, David Hero.
Oh, my gosh. This should be interesting.
I was deeply bothered by the fact that you were not aware of Chili Willy, the penguin.
I thought that was the ECW guy.
Achoo, the penguin.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Is that better for you? You know what? There is no. You know what? If it wasn't for Superman, Mighty Mouse would be the guy. What? Seriously. He would demolish Thor. There would be no Greenland. Mighty Mouse. I mean, he has no weakness. No green rocks can hurt him. But you already knew that.
But race with Speedy Gonzalez.
Ooh, now that would be a hell of a battle.
Had a couple of Facebook comments about that X Division conversation we were having before. Linda, let's hear what's going on out there. We've been asking people all night to share your thoughts on Facebook with us about TNA's seeming refocus on the X Division.
Lily, we got a comment here from Todd Osborne saying the X Division is the true DNA of TNA. It can only make the product better. Another comment from Sal Perez Jr. saying TNA should have never lost focus on the X Division in the first place. It's a long time coming. The fans will be cheering the matches the most. And a final comment again from Jared Howard saying, in order for wrestling to really matter, it's going to take more than just the X Division. They all need to start wrestling more. They need to solidify themselves as a place where people can go to find wrestling before Ring of Honor premieres on TV, which we touched on earlier in the show.
You know, Raw airs, Impact airs, and people like to share how many minutes of wrestling happen on those shows. But does it matter if it's a 4-minute match? Does it matter if it's a 10-minute match?
Of course it does.
If during the week, no. On a pay-per-view, yes.
But you get wrestling on pay-per-views.
That's correct.
You get 80% wrestling on pay-per-views in general.
As it should.
You might get 30 or 40% wrestling on the weekly shows, not SmackDown not included.
To me, the
are fans ever happy?
No, you always have to complain a little bit.
No, you don't. Why? Why do you always have to complain a little bit? Why?
Because you care.
No.
It's our right.
There's a lot more to be worried about than how many minutes of wrestling were on Raw this week.
I bet you there are people.
I don't keep track of the minutes of wrestling. Not at all. Frank does, but I don't.
There are people that are taking the minutes of this program and how much we talk about wrestling.
No, they're taking minutes of how much David Hero tries to wiggle his way back into the winning mode of winning position in the draft. 570. I hash marked that, and you're losing.
Wait, how many points do I have?
540.
So I'm 30 points behind.
Yep.
That's it.
Doesn't matter.
And I've been getting screwed every week.
A win's a win. Well,
that's
then
fine.
I'm glad you're having a good summer so far.
I'll get the most points at the end of the day anyhow. That's fine.
And the fat lady sings at WrestleMania 28.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh, they're not bringing Aretha Franklin back.
All we're going to do is when I show that the great Suzuki was the guy, not Taka, and then when I make my final pick, which I still got a couple minutes yet for that.
The only thing that will prove that Taka argument is, firstly, I too can't believe we've given so much time to Taka Michinoku on this show. But at the same time, WWE made a big deal out of him. There was a press conference. And no, Jeff Jarrett didn't hit anybody with a guitar.
There's been other press conferences. How about Snooki? You hear about her?
No.
She got arrested. I think she stole she stole a police car or something like that.
Was there a high-speed chase?
She was a WrestleMania headliner. I don't know what kind of car.
I don't follow this TMZ that you watch, and
no, I follow it on Twitter.
Oh well, you certainly follow that.
Well, absolutely. Who doesn't follow TMZ on Twitter?
Thank you for those comments on Facebook regarding that conversation about the X Division. As we said before, the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime TV returns this week, and you can catch that on demand at pwrshow.com. We're moving to Thursdays after Impact.
So this Thursday will be on now?
Yes.
Well, at least I got Fridays off now. I appreciate that. Even though we work tonight, a holiday.
Well, your union rep called.
Mm-hmm. Union.
All right, you know what? Fine. I'm going to let y'all figure this draft thing out. I'm not going to say another word until 3-minute warning.
You got box stickers.
I know I'm debating. Do I want Swagger? Do I want Crimson? You know, do I want to go with Alex Riley?
Crimson, because I endorsed him.
Oh, that's true. I might not want that guy because whoever you endorse fails
becomes
miserably.
the WWE champion.
Mm-hmm.
Until you get your hands on him and ruin their life.
Listen, John Cena's done just fine. Since I drafted Randy Orton, I got a world champion. I got the tag team champions. You know what? Yes, leave.
I'm leaving.
Just go.
Disco? Is that your pick?
No, I didn't
Disco
say
Inferno?
Disco. No, that's not.
I'm putting it down. Disco Inferno is your pick.
You've got to be kidding.
You just said Disco.
No, I did. I said just go.
Wait a minute.
Holy
Linda, you
crap.
heard it. Linda, you heard it.
This is more.
I heard.
You heard it.
No.
You said disco.
Oh,
that's what I got down.
He was on. Yeah, he was on TV. He's not going to be on a paper. I'll never get points.
Your pick is Disco Inferno.
Holy crap! This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
See, you
Disco
spilled this
fever.
stuff on purpose.
Disco fever. Disco fever. Yeah. Why don't you
I'd
pick
rather
Alex
keep
Wright?
Karma.
Why don't you pick Glacier while you're at it?
You guys absolutely suck. You know
said
that?
Disco.
I did. I said just go.
You said disco.
Holy crap! This
Disco's
is
your
ridiculous.
pick. The clock is up. All right. I've been waiting for you. You had to wait to the last second.
You know what?
The clock is up. I'm sorry. Disco
This
Inferno.
is amazing.
You better get him
guys.
You better hope he headlines something. During indie show.
Really? You know what? I will definitely make a few phone calls tomorrow morning.
It's official.
Disco Inferno.
Sucks. Wow. You know what? If he wasn't on Impact
Disco
last week,
Inferno. Really?
I never picked him.
You said
Holy crap.
disco.
You know what?
Time was up. I had to put something on here to fax this thing before midnight.
Frank, you know what, dude? You were cool like 2 weeks ago, and now what's going on here? You know what? You guys figure it out. I'm done.
Just go.
See?
Anybody find those TNA Impact spoilers yet? God?
No, but it's 1 o'clock out east, so fire them away.
Our girl ODB is back. Guys, you know,
Yeah.
she's your love interest.
That's right.
Back wearing some heels and
Looks great.
well, she sure does. Man. Well, Linda, how can people follow us in the meantime and in between time between our airings here on 540 ESPN?
Well, you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report, or on Twitter at twitter.com/PWR Show. And, of course, we've got that heated conversation each and every weekend, and, anytime. blogtalkradio.com/PWR.
And we appreciate those of you who interact with us, especially all of you in the chat room on Blog Talk Radio, blogtalkradio.com/PWR.
Disco Inferno better be interacting with us very soon for Heroes' sake here.
He's just trying to put heat on everybody else, when in reality, it all should be on him, and I'm loving it, like McDonald. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. blogtalkradio.com/PWR. Thank you for all of you joining us in the chat. And also, we're very happy to be the most popular sports show for the last several weeks on all of Blog Talk Radio. So be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode of the Pro Wrestling Report. And regardless of our 540 ESPN schedule, we are live each and every Monday night on Blog Talk Radio. So you'll never miss a show as long as you go ahead and follow the show on there. You can always check out our schedule as well at pwrshow.com, our website, pwrshow.com, and we have our schedule posted there of our broadcasts, including the post shows, which occur after each and every pay-per-view from WWE and TNA, and so much more. We're next on Monday night, June 6th, for the Pro Wrestling Report here on 540 ESPN, and as always, we'd like to thank the artist who performs our new theme song, Lights, Camera, Action, C-Pipe. You can follow him on Twitter at C-Pipe, C-P-I-E-P-Z, Southeastern Wisconsin native, and a very talented artist for this tremendous song for Linda Kay, for the cause. The two of them are professionals. And for that other guy that used to be on the show, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Untouchable, outrageous. Tonight's the night to get crazy. C-Pipe got it locked with a passion, ready for the light camera. Feel like something big is going down tonight. Monkey to the bench for the love of promise I ain't catching. I'm ready for the lights, camera, action. Money, oh, which one? one of you can get low? Drop to the floor and move it slow-mo. Any, money, flow. Which one of you can get low?